Sail away. Oh, islands in the stream.
All right, you're on.
Oh,
You're on.
well, you could have warned me. Islands in the stream. I'm singing In a Pickle with Gene Moore, sponsored by GeneMooreComedy.com. Chris, you made me look crazy singing my favorite song, Islands in the Stream. Only the greatest song in the world. I think, when I die, Chris, will you make sure they play it at my funeral, the Islands in the Stream? And I also want to request, if anyone comes to my funeral in flip-flops or shorts, kick that bitch out. Because I'm going to haunt. How dare you disrespect me coming to my funeral like that?
I'll make sure Dolly Parton is there herself to sing that song.
Man, that would be the shit. Dolly Parton and Winona Judd. Oh, yeah. Let Winona sing Kenny's part and Dolly would sing the other part. I love Islands. That's the greatest song in the world. I got to tell you, it doesn't get its proper due. That song is the shit. Anyways, welcome back to In a Pickle Podcast. This is Gene Moore. It's our third installment. Chris, how you feeling?
Feeling good.
Okay. All right. Well, you're so tired. Chris has been on vacation, so he's been cleaning. I have the ability to work from home, but this bitch has got me. Can you lift this box? Can you do this? I'm like, no, I'm busy. You know what? I'm going to go to a question real quick that somebody asked me that watched the podcast. They said, why did you decide to do it with your boyfriend, Chris? And I'll tell you, we needed to do a project together. And he came to me and he said, this bitch said, we could either paint the house or do a podcast. Now, as you see, I'm big and rotund. I'm not someone that's going to be painting and getting all sweaty in Arizona. That's too much. So I'm like, I can sit here in a chair and talk. Let's do the podcast. So I like that. So we're doing that. So Chris, welcome back to the show. I'm glad to have you. Glad to be a part of it. You feel good about it?
Oh, yeah, I feel good.
Thank you for your being so short with your answers. Oh my, are we okay? Are we in a fight? Are we in a pickle?
No, I'm tired. I did a lot of chores today.
Okay, all right. Well, you're sitting down, so
I did your laundry.
Oh no!
House,
You did our laundry. You did our laundry. You organized our house. Let's not start that fight. This is our shit, and I'm gonna die first, so you get all the shit. So this is really your house. So, anyways, God bless you, Chris. I'm glad that you're here. Let me tell you, I'm in a good mood because I went to Popeyes. And I got me one of them strawberry biscuits. They are not playing around. Did you like it? I brought it home. You just had a little bit of a taste because you're doing this thing where you don't eat. Is it good?
It's good. I kind of ate yours and mine.
You ate my biscuit? So, okay, that's okay. We're going to go get another one then because I'm hungry, Chris. You always make me starve before we do this show. So, anyways, and when my sugar's low, I'm going to say some crazy shit and I'm going to get canceled. But, anyways, whoever did that at Popeyes, God bless you. God bless you for doing it. I love it when there's a fat bitch in charge. And a fat bitch was like at the board meeting, you know what this company needs? We need a strawberry biscuit. Hats off to you, bitch. Whoever did that was amazing. And I'll tell you, I'm not a biscuit kind of guy. That came into my life. My boyfriend brought that to me. He brought that from the New World, from where he came from, because we just ate tortillas and tacos. We didn't ever have the biscuit. The biscuit. He taught me how to eat that. You sop it up with your gravy. You sop it up, or you put some honey on it. Man, that's some. Ooh. I know. See, Chris is different from me. I don't leave this house without a snack. I am in the house. I got snacks everywhere. There's not any point in my life that I'm not going to have a snack. If I was in that submarine going down, and God bless those people in that submarine, if I would have had snacks and I would have saved the day. You know what I mean? I would have saved the day because whatever I had would have not blown up. You know what I mean? I would have opened a bag of Doritos, and I better have all my Doritos in that bag. We talked about shrinkflation last week, and I better not. I'm tired of being cheated on my Doritos. But anyways, in a pickle this week. Let's focus. See, when my sugar's low, I get crazy. Russia. Ooh, Russia is in a jam. They are crazy over there. I'm scared too because they got nuclear codes. They're not to be played with, and that's real nuclear energy. So I'm worried about that. So they're in a kind of a pickle, and God help us if Donald Trump gets back in the White House. Swear to God, we're in. Woo, that's gonna be. God bless Chris Christie. I do want to say something about Chris Christie. Do you think he kept his receipts for that fat surgery? Because he's fat again. And I'm not trying to fat shame him because I'm fat too. I lost a pound last week. I thought, I'm doing it. But he seemed to lose the weight and then he gained it back. Did you see that?
Yeah, he needs a refund for sure.
He needs a refund. But you know what? I kind of like him. I would be okay with him being my president because I would go to the White House and we would eat snacks. You know he's got the best snacks. Chris Christie ain't fucking around with the snacks. He really is. And I'll say, Chris Christie, did you ever have that Popeyes? He wouldn't even let me finish it. He'd be that strawberry biscuit. Let's go get one right now. God bless you. We got Secret Service. We're going to cut in line. Oh, yeah. Chris Christie. What I like about Chris Christie is he does tell the truth. And as a Democrat, it's kind of embarrassing that he's having to carry our weight. The Democrats should really be out there talking about Trump and what he's not good for our country and why, and put their case together. And they're letting Chris Christie do that. And I don't think they should, because Chris Christie and me and Winona need to go worry about snacks. We don't need to be worrying about the White House. That's what we need to worry about. So, good news. My sciatica nerve seems to be cured. I talked about that, and it's good. And what is exciting for me, Chris, and I didn't get to tell you, is, I have all kinds of friends. I like diverse friends. And one of the friends I have is this older group of men. And old men love to talk about their aches and their pains. And usually I just listen. You know what I mean? I don't have anything to say. But I couldn't wait to see them old bitches and tell them. I ran up there, sure did. And I said, I got a sciatica nerve. And they told me, what to do for it, how to, everybody gave me their 2 cents, and I appreciate it. I appreciate the 2 cents, because you have to have old friends when you're getting into old age, because it's a mystery, when you just wake up one morning and your legs don't move, you know what I mean? I thought I was going to be paralyzed. I'm like, I'm just paralyzed. This is how my new life is going to be, but they walked me through it, Chris, but I did have one friend that always tries to one-up me, talking about, I lost my kneecap last week. Oh, someone's always got to try to one-up you. But, I don't know. I love it. I love having a sciatica and talking with the old men. I want to be friends with our neighbors, because our neighbors are old. I would love to go out there and talk about our aches and pains. You don't seem to be interested in the neighbors, Chris, right?
No, I just mind my business.
Yeah, that's why.
I don't like socializing or talking or looking at people.
Mm-hmm. That's wow. He's telling the truth. There's the public us and the private. You spilling over, Chris. We're gonna get canceled. My friend did ask, why does Chris not appear on camera? Chris and I made a deal when I started comedy. I remember I had a good job, and I jobbed down so that I could have more time to do comedy. And he had to do a lot of sacrifice. You know what I mean? Like no vacation, spending a lot of time alone, hearing me complain about being too fat, being too skinny. I only got this coat and a green coat. What am I going to wear? Or my jokes, or you know what I mean? So he has to sacrifice. So one of the things he did ask was he's a private person, is to be private. So thank you it took a lot for you just to talk. So I appreciate it. So thank you, Chris.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
No, I'm exactly where I want to be, just behind the scenes.
Yeah, thank you.
Watching your every move, criticizing you.
Criticizing me and judging. That's the best part about being gay. I love being gay. Sometimes I feel sorry for straight men that they don't get to judge like we do. You know what I mean? Like I do. You know what being gay has a blessing and a curse. One of the blessings is we get to judge people. The curse is sometimes at night, when I don't put my throat cream on my throat, on my neck, I worry about I'm like, oh shit, I better not move because I'm going to cause a wrinkle and I'm going to get wrinkles. You know what I mean? My future self is like, Gene, get up out of this bed and put some lotion on this neck. Get up on it right now. You know what I mean? Because you ever see it when people got real wrinkly necks? I'm worried about that. I don't know. I'm just going to wear turtlenecks. I know. Are you worried about it?
I haven't thought about it till just now. So thank you for that.
That's
something new to worry about.
You know what? That's what I'm here for. I have a list of shit I worry about in advance. So, I don't like to be surprised. But going back to, did you hear my voice the way it came out? Going back, my voice has changed.
Even your voice is getting old.
I know. I can't write that down. I got to go tell them old people my voice is changing. Oh, you guys, they're going to love it. So last week I went to a celebration of life for my friend Deanne Kincaid. She was my comedy coach, my friend. She had been with me from day one. She really helped me structure the way I do jokes and how I come out on stage right from that beginning. We spent 2 years on the first 2 minutes. 2 years, like how to make it pop and how to come out strong. So I'm really, I was, what was I, like the host of the funeral service, And so it was good to see a lot of people that I haven't seen in years. A lot of people look like shit. I want to tell you about that, Chris, but I don't want to talk shit. They look old as shit. They need neck cream.
Or a turtleneck.
Huh?
Or a turtleneck.
Something. You know what I mean? Something. I don't know. But it was, but God bless them. It was good to see people. It was good to see people. Some crazy people were there, but it was good. People said nice things about her, and I only cried once. I begged my friend Christopher Royer. I'm like, you have to come. I need you to come. Because when your friend's in the room, you're not going to do that ugly cry. I came up to it. I came close, but they were videotaping it, so I knew I couldn't have that on there. But it was nice. One of the best things about it was they gave my comedy coach, Deanne Kincaid, she wore lots of scarves, and so they were passing out some of her scarves. And so I got one too. I need to get one of those shadow boxes and put it in there, Chris. So, I like that. So, more shit to have in the house, more shit when we move. We have a rule in this house. If you bring one thing in, 2 things have to go. So, one day it's going to be me. I'm going to have to get out of the house. But yeah, that is something that I need to do. It was a nice funeral, and it had potato salad. And I love potato salad. And let me be clear here, because I want to make sure, I want to start making a list of shit I want at my funeral. And I do want potato salad, Chris. But I swear to God, I'll haunt the shit out of you if you bring potato salad made out of Hellmann's. Some people use Hellmann's as that isn't even mayonnaise. Miracle Whip is the shit. In this country, a lot of people think it's black, white, men, women, straight, gay. No, the problem in America is some of us use Hellmann's because we're demons, and some of us are angels from the Lord using Miracle Whip. And I can't stand to taste potato salad made with Hellmann's. It has that weird taste to it. In your family, what did your mom use?
Miracle Whip.
See why I love you?
All day long. Yeah.
See, good people. This is what I love about you. This is how I knew I was in love with you. When you told me your parents were Democrats, even though I think now they might have switched. But I don't know. They probably don't.
One did.
One did. Okay.
The other did.
The other did. But I would say this. He was Union. He was a Democrat. And now the Hellmann's. This is why it works, baby. This is why we work. I love it. So anyway, so the funeral was sad. It was really good to hear people talk, and it makes you think about, your funeral and how you want it to go. The only thing I know is I just don't want people in flip-flops and shorts. Not at my funeral. That's just disrespectful. You know what I mean?
So there's going to be a dress code for your funeral?
Fuck yes, there's going to be a dress code at my funeral. And I want a big bouncer there. I want someone there to enforce it. Who do I know? Who is the meanest person I know that will listen to everything? Because Ray, I'll have Ray do it, but Ray, he'll be distracted in a minute. You give him a microphone and he'll be distracted. He ain't. Maybe Ernesto. Ernesto might do it because she can be a bitch sometimes. I need someone that's going to be strong.
What about James Hohenscheit? He's a little scary.
James Hohenscheit is scary, and write that down. He's going to be the bouncer at my funeral, and if you bring shorts or flip-flops, he's going to punch you right in the fucking throat. That's what he's going to do. And he's going to come tell me, and I'm going to come haunt you. I'm going to come redecorate all your shit in your house at night when you sleep. I'll be like, boo, bitch. I'm doing it too. But the funeral, it was really cool. So I'm glad that was really putting me into a funk. I was really kind of that in my leg, and Tina Turner. And then my friend Ray Howard is moving to Las Vegas. So, man, I don't know. I have not had a good 2 weeks, but I did get to relax. So, write new material. And I know some people are thankful because if they hear one more of my jokes, they're going to be like, shit. Anyways, I want to show my mug. My mug is from my goddaughter, Malin. She got in her little purse, her little 4 year. Is she 4 or 5? 4. I think. I don't know. Time is so hard for me. So she got in her little purse and she got out her little credit card and she bought me a cup. I'm going to stay hydrated because I live in the desert. Thank you, Malin, for the Godfather. She got me a gift for the Godfather, isn't it? And barbecue, Chris. They own a chicken farm, so they want us to eat chicken barbecue so that they can pay for the farm. That's what they said. Hinvu is crazy. I love my friend Hinvu. That's my friend. Which is a segue into my friend of the week. Friend of the week. You know, Chris, will you write this down? Can we have segues with like little fancy titles?
No, that's a lot of work for me to do.
You know what? I'm going to call James Honshite, punch you in the throat. So my friend of the week is Joe Basilla. Joe Basilla, that girl has been nothing but from the get-go. I swear to, Joe Basilla, I love Joe Basilla. We lived together, let me see, in like Louisville, St. Louis, Washington. We lived in like 3 or 4 cities together. I love Joe Basilla. We can't live together because our personalities are too strong. But man, it starts out fun, and I love Joe Basilla. And I think I could. I think when I get old, I'm gonna live in an old folks home. You know what I'm gonna do, Chris? I'm gonna get me a big plot of land, and I'm gonna get those mini homes and put all my friends that I like to live near me. In the mini homes, you know what I mean? And then we're gonna have like one big ass home where they make food for us, and they do our laundry, because I don't want to do laundry or make food when I get old. You know what I mean?
So someone else is gonna do your laundry besides me?
You know what? Don't you want to be grateful for the break? Oh, you want to bitch about it? Okay, all right. I'm hungry, bitch. I'm hungry. Anyway, so Joe Basilla. I'm trying to think of a crazy story. Let me get in the Wayback Machine and go back. Joe Basilla. I'm trying to think of why we became friends, or how did we become. I know we met in school in East Lansing, and then we would go to we would go to Sciatica. Sciatica is where the boys would do nasty stuff in the bushes, Chris. And I know your mama might be watching, so we won't go. I didn't do any of that. I'm Christian. I didn't do any of that. But I did. We were like, what's going on in the bush? Because we heard people making weird noises, Chris, in the bushes. They were doing stuff they shouldn't be doing. And me and Joe were walking around, and we're like looking, and because we're nosy bitches. We're like, what's going on here? And then then they was having sex out there. And I said, y'all ain't worried about Jesus coming back or nothing? Just out here?
So you just so happened to walk across this area where they're doing this?
Oh, no, we asked, where are the boys having sex at? And they pointed it to us. And we wanted to go see.
So of course, you had to go check it out.
We had to go check it out, yeah. But it's dark. You can't see who's touching you or nothing. It's Look, Gene Moore, I was already worried about a serial killer in there or someone. You know what I mean? That's just scary. It's just... I'm eating online. I don't ever eat. You never see Gene Moore eating or wearing glasses. Oh my God, that's a first. That's getting bad. That's all downhill. But Joe Basilla, that is my friend. Funny story. We went to Saugatuck, and on the way there, we were real cute. We were wearing construction boots and real short shorts and these tight shirts. I think we cut them a little bit too. And we walked into this little small town, like maybe 2,000 people lived there, Chris. It was small, right? I think it was called Zealand or something with a Z, or as the English say, Zad. They say Z weird. But anyways, we go in, and I'm looking at the menu, and I say to Joe, and this is when I knew this is going to be my gal pal for life. I looked at him and I said, Joe, what are you going to get? Thinking about the menu. And he looked around, he looked at me, he looked around, he looked at me, and he goes, stairs, because all the people were staring at us because we were too cute. Yeah. Yeah, I love Joe Basilla. I love it. You know what? I stayed at his house one time. His dad owned a restaurant in Detroit, and so we would go up there and work, and then we'd stay at his mom's because they were divorced. And Nancy, God bless her, rest her soul. And whenever I took a shower, this is how they did it. This house was crazy. They would, Joe Basilla's family's rich. I don't know how they make money. We don't ask. But anyway, so they're Italian. Italian and Lebanese, you don't want to ask. That's some secret shit. You might ask and get a dead body somewhere. I don't know. But when we went to the house, his stepdad said, if you take a shower, that you have to turn the water on, get your body wet, soap yourself off, turn the shower off, and then that he didn't like to waste water. So you would have to get wet, put soap on, and then rinse off. Like the whole shower had to last like 2 minutes. You know me, I like to be in the shower.
I know you do.
I sometimes I forget we're in a drought. You know what I mean? Isn't that sad?
Sometimes I have to go get you out of the shower.
I know. I love. It's the only time I can think and be alone. You know what I mean? And I know. You know, I hear you rushing me. Come on, we gotta go. I'm like, bitch, we're just going to Costco. Why are we in a hurry? I'm always in a. This is my life. I come home, I take off my shoes, I put on some other clothes, and I run out the door. I'm always in a rush. Sometimes I just like to be. So, Joe Basilla, I love you. Thank you for being my best friend. It's hard to be my best friend. He's always been so amazing. I love Joe Basilla. I just saw him last year. Ray and I stayed at his house when we were in Michigan doing shows. So we had a good time. We stayed up all night talking like little girls. It was so much fun. We fell asleep talking. That's the best. I love Joe Basilla. And that's my friend of the week. Joe Basilla, the friend of the week. That's the segment. So anyways, I don't know. Is this doing okay, Chris? I need to be funnier. Is that what you're going to tell me?
No, you're doing fine.
Okay, because I'm hungry, Chris. I'm hungry. Shit.
I'm sure don't you have a snack in your jacket somewhere?
I do, but I don't want you making fun of me. I don't need you judging me. I'm going to sneak it out and just eat it. Eat snacks right here. Please, Chris, when they cremate me, because I think I want to be cremated, you know, when you're on the airplane and they give you those graham crackers, those, what do they call them, those little graham cracker biscuits?
Oh,
you know what
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Could you put like 3 or 4 in there with me when I go to the hereafter?
I sure will.
Don't, you know what? Don't put them in before they burn. Put a package in there when they burn up, and then another one just in case, you know, I don't burn all the way up, because then I can eat it as I go see Jesus, you know. And I can't wait to see Jesus to find out why I didn't get an ass, and why, you know, Richard Gere, did he really put all them gerbils up his ass? Like, it really, sometimes I can't sleep at night, and I'm like, do you think, how many did he do? Like, did he really do that? I know. I could go on Snoops, but I don't want to ruin the surprise. I'm going to wait for Jesus to tell me. You know, I can't wait. Some people are afraid of death. Not Gene Moore. I can't say that I can't wait to die, but I'm not afraid to die, because I know I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna see, you know, our dogs that passed away, Franklin and Hurley. I'm gonna see my mom. I'm gonna see Tina Turner. I'm gonna see Deanne Kincaid. I'm gonna show her the scarf I had. Yeah, I'm gonna let her know about this crazy person that came to her funeral. Ooh, she was crazy. Deanne would love that story. I love it. So nice. So good. And I'll let Deanne know that they had a nice potato salad made with Miracle Whip. They did her right. A lot of people don't know the story of Miracle Whip. Let me school people. Miracle Whip is made by the Lord Jesus himself. People don't know that. People don't know their Bible anymore. They just don't read it anymore, you know? And so I really should do a TikTok on Bible stories that people don't know so that they can learn their Bible. See, what happened was when Jesus died and they put him in that cave, then what they did was he was in there for 3 days, and he knew they're like, bitch, just go in there for 3 days. And so he was in there for 3 days, and he knew he was going to come out. But he's like, I'm bored. What am I going to do? And so he started making, and he invented and made Miracle Whip. People don't know that. And when he came out and he pushed that stone, and Mary Magdalene was out there, and she's like, Jesus, oh my God, it's Jesus. What do you have in your hand? And he said, behold. And she said, what is it? And he said, miracle. And just then the Romans whipped him. And that's what they call it, Miracle Whip. Yeah, people don't know their Bible.
I feel like more people need to know this story. That's a pretty...
I'm doing my part. You know, I'm doing my part, because I know when I see Jesus, he's going to say, Gene, thank you for telling them demons to put that Hellman's away, because everyone knows, you ever see somebody in your office that don't act right, they probably eat Hellman's. They're probably cheating on their wife. They don't put their shopping cart away. These aren't good people. They cheat on their taxes. You know, they're not good people. I don't think you can eat Hellman's and like it and go and buy it with your hard-earned money and call yourself Christian. Stop doing that. You're not Christian. You're a demon. For real. And I feel strongly about it. You know what I mean? I do. I get so mad when someone makes me a sandwich with Hellman's. I want to punch them in the throat. I do. But anyways, let's go to a news segment, and we're going to call this segment Nobody's Talking About It. And I have a theme song. Nobody's talking about it. But I am. Here I am. Nobody's talking about it. The segment. Here it is today. Nobody's talking about it. That submarine got me thinking. I love Republicans. I don't hate them. I don't understand them. But they always talk about deregulation. The government doesn't need to tell me what to do, but they'll tell a woman what to do with her body. Come on, somebody. Who am I talking to? Mm-hmm. But this deregulation, we're like, no, we don't need the government in our business. We do need government in our business. And this is a perfect example. First, why in the hell are you going to see the Titanic? Everybody there died. You don't need to go to a place where everyone dies, because guess what? You're going to die. Like, that's dumb. That is the dumbest shit ever. To go on vacation, you could go to Paris, you could go to Spain, you could go to Winona Judd's in Nashville, but you're going to go to the Titanic? No good's going to come. You know what? I know what they did. The man who was driving that boat drove 8 Hellmans. Mm-hmm. He did. Mm-hmm. And I'm not making any jokes about those poor people. I feel, what a horrible way to die. My only hope is that they died right away and they didn't have to suffer. I mean, nobody's talking about segment is not to make fun of those people that died. God bless them, and I hope their families are doing okay. It's a terrible way to go. It is, and I'm just being silly about going to see the Titanic. But what nobody's talking about is the media. Man, the media knew. It's coming out that they knew that those people were dead, but they had Gene Moore glued to the TV, all up on it, with snacks, watching. Are they going to come out? Are they going to save them? What are they going to look like? Did they eat somebody on the Titan? You know what I mean? Like, I would probably start eating somebody's foot or something, or their toes or their fingers. You know what I mean? I would, don't be on there with no snacks, because Gene Moore's going to eat some snacks. But, you just want, and we're all human beings, and we love a good story about redemption or people being saved. Like, we were all glued to the TV, but the media did that just to get ratings and to keep us hooked, and nobody's talking about it. So fuck the media. I'm so mad I've been mad at the news ever since Rachel Maddow. Remember her? Mm-hmm. I'm a petty bitch. I don't forget when Rachel Maddow said when Donald Trump won, I'm so shocked. Bitch, that was your job to find out the news. Like, I could be shocked, but not you. How are we going to find out at the same time? Like, they should have known about this. You know what I mean? I don't like the news. It's so horrific what they do, and they divide us, and they get us fighting, and nobody's cute on the news. The only one who's cute is, the one that was from Arizona. He's on MSNBC. What's his name? Vaughn Hilliard. I like him. Do you know him?
No.
He used to be here in Phoenix on Channel 12, I think, and then he moved over there to the National. I like him. He seems legit. You know what I mean? But the rest of them, I don't like them. I don't like the news. And I don't like that they strung me along on that. That really made me mad, I fall for it. I'm a sucker. That's what I felt like when I was watching the news, and I'm like, man, they got me again. I'm a sucker. Who's in a pickle? Gene Moore, for wasting time. I could have been doing 2 sit-ups, wasting my time, worrying about those people, praying for them. You know what I mean? I was worried, And you know what else is kind of crazy? Who the hell is going to... this is how I know I'm getting older. 1, I'm looking at Buicks for a new car, which is an end-of-life car. And number 2, every time I hear about some crazy shit, I'm like, who's going to pay for that? Why does Gene Moore have to pay for rich people? I'm tired of paying. I always have to pay for rich people. I don't mind paying for poor people that need help. God, that's my job as a good Catholic, the Good Samaritan. I'll do that. But rich people, they need to pay their own way. They don't pay shit. They don't pay taxes. They don't put away their cards. They eat Hellmann's. We need to rise up, people. And they need to pay for that. They need to pay for that whole thing, how much it costs to look for it. You know what I mean, Chris? Isn't that? And I just realized I say you know what I mean a lot. So every time I say it, write a little tick down, okay? And that's another sit-up. That's how I stop saying it. I have to do a sit-up every time I say it. I'm not saying you know what I mean.
No, you ain't doing no
No,
sit-ups,
no, no, no. And guess who's not doing sit-ups? James Hohenscheit. I love James Hohenscheit, but we're the same size now. Was that shady? See what happens when you made me do the show with no food? I get crazy. So one of the things that Chris has been telling me for a long time is whoever I am on stage isn't the same as I am in real life. And he said maybe this podcast would make me be more. So am I more myself now, Chris?
You are, for sure.
Okay, thank you. All right. I'm going to get canceled. No more bookings for me.
But at least you're going to be true to yourself.
True to myself.
You're going to be broke, but you'll be...
I'll be a broke bitch, but I'll be a truth-telling bitch telling people about Miracle Whip from the Lord. Who am I talking to in here? Who needs to hear the message? Somebody does. I'm doing the Lord's work. So, yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, I just think those rich people have to pay for that. I'm tired of paying for rich people's shit. You know what I mean? I am. Who's paying for this Donald Trump investigation? How much money are they spending on that? I want to know. Just because Donald Trump was trying to figure out how KFC's secret recipe, do we have to spend all our money? You know what I mean? Oh, that's a sit-up. Shit. I got to quit talking. Let's just end this podcast right now and go get them biscuits. Let's go. Let me take a word from my sponsor. G More in a Pickle podcast is sponsored by gmorecomedy.com, where you can find out all my information. The shows aren't going to be up there until August, my out-of-town shows, but you could still support the dream, and we need to, go into these cities and tell people about Miracle Whip. It's what the Lord told me to do. He did. And so some people are going to be, don't you dare pick at me because you like Hellman's. I swear to God, I'm a veteran. The Lord don't like that. Mm-mm. Chris, let's go into questions of the week. But before we do, this show is going to air over for 4th of July weekend. We're going to drop it on early Friday morning, Thursday night, right?
No, this is the last show before 4th of July.
I don't know what day it is ever. I'm always so confused.
Bless your heart.
I know.
You're so confused.
I am. I get up. Honestly, I have a calendar. And I look at what I have to do for the day. I just know what I have to do for the day. I don't keep track of what day it is, what time it is. I just know where I need to go and do it and then come home and eat snacks. That's my life.
No, what I said earlier was this is going to be the last show before 4th of July. So just say something about 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July, bitches. Okay.
That's so authentic. Yes.
Yes. Well, I do love I love 4th of July. I signed up for the Army. I took my oath to the United States to pledge my allegiance to the United States government on the 4th of July. I did, and I did that in either New York or New Jersey. I forget, but I love it. I love my country. I love being American. I love potato salad, apple pie. I love being fat. I love drive-thrus. I love everything about America. I do. I think that I think it's a country that can be fixed, and we got problems, and I'm not a blind eye, turning a blind eye to the racism or the homophobia or how they treat trans people. I get that, but I love this country. I really do. I love America. I think I might have to run for president. You know what I mean? If I ran for president, my only issue would be I'd have to the 4-day work week. We need a 4-day work week because they're not paying us more money, these people who own businesses. So fuck them. We're going to only work 4 days if they're not going to pay us more. And then the other thing I would do would be the food. The food in America it's got poison in it. It's really bad. They are just doing some crazy stuff. And they get it. They take the poison and they put it in the seeds. And so when the farmers plant it, we're eating that poison. And I don't know. And I know it sounds a little conspiracy, but, there's something going on in America and we're not allowed to talk about it. I don't know. Did you see or hear about RFK on Joe Rogan?
You told me all about it.
Do you ever listen to Joe Rogan, Chris?
Nah.
It's a lot of work because you have to Google everything because they say some crazy stuff on there. You have to fact check. I don't believe maybe 20% of what they say on there, but they do. I'm burping like crazy, Chris. This is so unprofessional. Oh, you hear me? Oh, that means somebody driving in their car. They're hearing a burp. I'm sorry, everyone. Pray for me. I'm a Democrat. I don't know if I'm going to vote for Joe Biden. I mean, obviously, if it's Donald Trump and Joe Biden, I'm going to have to do Joe Biden because I can't do Donald Trump because I'm a Christian and a patriot. And did I say patriot? I'm bougie. Yes, I am. I'm a patriot. I'm a Christian. And I love my country. And I try to live my life in the grace of God and with my brother as my keeper. I can't be a Republican. I can't. But if it's Donald Trump, I have to go for Biden, but I do wish I had another choice. I was listening to that RFK, how he talks like Katharine Hepburn, but, you know, I don't want to make fun of him, but he does raise some interesting questions, Chris. That's all I have to say about that. So let's move on before I get canceled to questions that I haven't heard. These questions are questions I have not heard, and they are written by the producer, the guy that uploads everything and
does your laundry.
You keep saying do my laundry, like people are gonna think they're gonna get a bad view. There's a lot of stuff I do at this house too. Like let me think what I do. There's some stuff I do. You know what? I do a security check, a thorough security check.
Yes, you do.
3 or 4 times every night. Every time we leave the house and come back in, I reseal the house. I do the security check. I water the plants. You killed the plants.
We have a plant. You water
There's 2
plant.
now. Someone gave you that plant. We have 2. We have a fake plant, and I was watering the fake plant too. I didn't know it was fake. Sometimes I come home really late at night. I'm tired. I'm like, why is this plant never? They're tulips, and they're just never gonna die. Let me give these babies some water. Let me help these plants out. Yeah, I did. And what else do I do around here, Chris? I eat snacks. I take out the garbage. I bring in the garbage. I water the outside plants. We
both do everything that you just said.
No,
I water the plants outside too.
We have a deal. Only I'm supposed to water the plant. See, this is why shit gets fucked up. Remember the deal?
No, the inside plants you are responsible for, but we both can water the outside plants, right?
I'm gonna talk to the HOA about that. I don't know if that's allowed. I don't think you're following the rules. What else do I do? I blow out candles because I'm scared of fire. I clean the sink. I don't like a dirty sink.
Yeah.
I keep
you unplug stuff. Anytime I'm charging something, you unplug it.
I'm nervous about fire, bitch. I'm nervous about this house catching on fire. I'm saving your life. I'm saving your... You would think a little gratitude would make you a little happier, Chris. Whatever. Okay. Let's move on into questions that I don't know so we don't break up. Okay. I'm going to take a drink of water while you do that. Okay.
So the first question, what is your guilty food pleasure?
My guilty food pleasure? Okay, in this podcast, I always have to tell the truth. My guilty food pleasure is I don't like to cook. I'm not a cooker, but I do like to make Mexican stew with potatoes and jalapenos and zucchini, and sometimes it's pork, sometimes it's chicken, and I'm supposed to make a special sauce the way my grandfather showed me, but sometimes I just use enchilada sauce and tomato sauce, and it stinks up the house, and Chris hates that, but that is my guilty pleasure, to make the Mexican stew. I love that. Sometimes I don't make it right. I make it too runny, because I don't follow the directions, like Chris and I, we don't cook, like we said. We made Myers lemon spaghetti. Remember that?
Oh God, how could I forget?
And we saw the recipe in the New York Times, and not like we read the New York Times. Did you hear how I said that? Yeah. Well, we were reading the New York Times, as one does. No, we were. I think I found it on Instagram or something. I find my music, everything, is on Instagram, and there was this recipe for Myers lemon spaghetti, which is like garlic, lemons, spaghetti, and some fentanyl, some shit like that. Fentanyl, I don't know. I don't get involved. I don't know. I don't want the people coming over to the border making Myers spaghetti with fentanyl. But we made it. But I told Chris, go ahead and put more lemons in there, and that was some puckery. Woo, that was you took one bite and you're like, you can have it.
Well, I think the Myers lemons are
Sweeter.
yeah, they're like a sweet lemon.
Yeah, and
we
fuck the
didn't
New York
have
Times.
Myers lemons.
Well, I know. In the New York Times, on the bottom, it says, if you substitute Myers lemons, soak them first. Like, that was the last thing.
And add sugar. It also said add sugar. If you don't have.
See why I hate the news? See why I hate the news? They're never there for me. Oh, okay. So that's my guilty pleasure. That, and I'm trying to think. Maybe it's going to be these Popeyes biscuits. They might, do the trick. So what else do you got, Chris?
What is your biggest regret in life?
My biggest regret in life. What is my I don't live my life with regret. I do what I want to do always. Let me see. Do I have a big regret in my life? You know what? That's too mean and that's too truthful. I share too much. Let me say this.
Say it.
I once had a psycho boyfriend, and I went to the bar and I was feeling cute, back, when I was at my dancing weight, and I looked back and I shouldn't have looked back, and then we became boyfriends, and this bitch was crazy. You know what I mean? He was a stalker, Chris. He would not break up for me for shit. Like, I moved out and he kept finding where I was, and then it was always a mess. And then one time I lived with Tina Bunting. Tina Bunting was this beautiful girl. And Jen Cram. They were beautiful girls, and they were going to MSU, and we all moved in together, and so I moved into their house, and he broke into our house, and so we knew it. So what we would do is we would nail the windows shut. He still got in the house. We don't know. This was like a ninja guy, and so he got in there, and one time he came and he was cutting our brakes. We looked out the window and we saw him cutting the brakes. And me and Tina, we were in the bathroom and we were spying on him. And I said, Tina, what's he doing? And she looked at me and she said, and she looked and she was so scared. And she said, I don't know, but your breath is so bad right now. And we laughed and laughed. And then we had to get back because we were like in danger. But see, perfect example of whenever anything bad happens with me, there's always laughter. I always find a way to laugh. But anyways, he broke into the house, Chris, and you know what he did? He peed in my iron. He peed in the iron, so when we ironed our shirts, pee would come out. And then I know, and in anything electrical, he cut the cords a little bit, and then put a penny, and somehow he plugged it in with a penny, and he did this. He rigged it up so whenever we turned on the appliance, the toaster, the microwave, the TV, they would blow up. Things would blow up. And then the cherry on the top, you know what he did?
What?
This is
How do you top the pee in the iron?
Let me tell you how he did it. We lived in Michigan and it was cold, right? And so we called the landlord and he called the furnace guy to come over. That bitch... the guy goes downstairs, the furnace guy. He had to leave his family at 9:00 at night and come fix our house. So he goes downstairs, boom, 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 and he comes back up and he was cussing us out. And he's like, "You guys think this is funny?" And we're like, "What?" And then he said, "There's a human turd in the furnace." He put a human turd. And when he left that house, we spent hours talking about, do you think he leaned over and pooped on that? Or do you think he brought the turd? Like, we had a whole meeting. We called all our friends. Like, he really...
I mean, the man was just in love, you know?
I mean, I don't blame him. Islands in the stream. There's what we are. No one in between. Sail away with me as I poop in your furnace. He did. That was crazy. So that is a regret. You know what I mean? I didn't know it was going to turn out like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. He was a stalker. Did you ever have a stalker relationship?
Nope.
I've had a full life, bitch. What's the next question? Let me take a drink of water.
I mean, what an honor to have had a stalker.
You know what?
That's appealing.
It is love.
Yeah.
It is love. You know? Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Next question.
Yeah.
Where are we going on our next vacation?
Chris. Oh, you put that on. You know I got the lasso of truth on me, bitch. I I wanted to go to Spain this year, and you wanted to do the backyard, right?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of have to do the backyard.
No, we
it's
don't.
Time.
It's the end of the world.
It's literally just gravel. Our backyard is gravel.
We could go to Spain, Chris. We could go to Spain in England.
Let's do both.
No, we can't afford that. We're broke.
Charge it.
No, we don't live like that. We're not we're not Republicans. They just charge everything and then don't pay their bills. Shut down the government and let the fault. No, we don't do that. We don't have people. Who are we going to call to co-sign us? Nobody. Nobody. All right. When are we going to go on our next vacation? We're going to Tucson this week. Does that count? I'm going to do a show down there, and I think 2 shows.
Because I've never been to Tucson.
Well, you know what? We can stay in do they have a fancy hotel down there?
I'm sure they do.
In Tucson? We'll stay at a fancy hotel. We'll have waffles. You want to do that? Are you doing anything Saturday? Oh, if this is recorded, people break in our house. We're not going on vacation.
I'm staying home.
Thank
while
you.
You go to Tucson.
And I know, you know what you do? You always say you're going to go to a show with me, and at the last minute, you do cancel at the last minute.
I know. They're just so boring.
Oh, but this week it's Greg Wilson. I feel sorry for those people.
Let me rephrase that. I've seen your set so many times that it's not as enticing.
No, it's different. And Greg Wilson is hilarious, and I'm hilarious. Those people are going to pee their pants. Okay, next question.
Okay. What does
wait, before we move on, did I not validate you? Do you want to go on vacation somewhere? Because we could go somewhere like take a weekend trip somewhere.
Well, I want to go on vacation and I want to do the backyard.
I'm not a Kennedy. I'm broke. I'm broke.
Well, I guess you better start selling some of those T-shirts.
Please, so we can go on vacation and save a marriage. Save a marriage. Okay, Chris, what's the next question? We're going to talk about this offline, and we're going to set up new rules, and that is don't try to get me. You're not in the media doing a gotcha. You remember Sarah Palin? You're playing that gotcha politics?
That was a great impression of Sarah Palin's voice.
I know. You betcha. I know.
That was great. What does retirement look like for you?
Retirement? For me? Retirement? You know what I was thinking for when we do retire?
Because it's in a couple years.
Oh, you. Oh, let me take out my imaginary jewelry now, bitch. No, you don't. No, because I have sciatica. One time I'm old and I'm looking at Buicks. I'm old and now I worry about my taxes. Who's going to pay for this submarine? God. You know how I know I'm getting old, Chris? Because when we went out to eat, I wanted to get one entree and split it, like how old people do. I did. What was the question again?
What does retirement look like for you?
I don't think about retirement. I guess let's adopt kids. You want to adopt kids?
Ew, no.
And then we could watch them and grow up, and they could take care of us.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if we adopt kids, we're gonna put them to work.
You are mean. Whitney Houston said our future. Treat them well. God, you need to listen to Whitney Houston and know your Bible. Retirement. I guess I will run for politics. I'm going to run for office when I retire. Yeah. Because, hell, Dianne Feinstein, look at her, 98 years old as shit, looking like Tales from the Crypt, just up in there. And they make bank when they go to Congress. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do.
What's the next question?
Do you have any tips for dealing with idiotic people?
As someone that deals with myself daily, I feel like I am a subject matter expert at SME. Idiotic people. No, you know what, Chris? When I become angry or upset with people, I look at what is inside of them is something that I see that I have, some kind of trait. Some kind of trait that they have that's making me angry. And when I force myself to look at that, then I have to fix what I don't like about myself so I don't let myself get angry. So idiotic people, I just I'm here to serve the Lord, not man. So I just, try to be pleasant and
What a wonderful politically correct answer that was.
Well, I'm trying to be my best self, Chris. And this is when I'm hungry. You always make me be so hungry on the show. Idiotic people, they get on my nerves, but I think they need compassion. I think they do. Okay. They're acting out on trauma. That's really what it is. People are insecure and they're acting out on trauma. And so when someone is acting out in trauma, you don't return it and get angry. They need a hug.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yes.
That was a great answer.
Well, we have 30 listeners that need to know that I'm not a piece of shit. Okay. What else do you have? Questions I have not heard.
Who is one celebrity, dead or alive, who you would like to take a road trip with?
Winona Judd. Without a doubt. Winona Judd. Winona Judd. I would like to go on a road trip with, let me see, who else would I like to go on a road trip with? I don't know. Who's like really interesting? Really interesting. You know, Jen Kober. I love Jen Kober. I would go on a road trip with her, and I know we would have snacks. I love Jen Kober. I would go on a road trip with the Pope.
The Pope?
Yeah, I like the Pope, and I want to know, I want to know a lot of things, and I think the Pope would have a lot of, he's smart, so I would like to be with the Pope. For real, I would like to be on the Pope. And this reminds me, Chris, my favorite story of 9/11 is a lot of people forget about 9/11. There's two things that people forget that Jay Moore doesn't forget because I'm petty. Number one, the weekend before 9/11. 9/11 happened on a Tuesday, right? Isn't that when it happened? Or Monday? I forget the day. But
Tuesday.
That weekend before, Mariah Carey had a movie that was so horrible called Glitter, and it dropped.
Oh, I forgot about that.
It was so bad. People forget about Glitter and how bad it was and how it was going to ruin her career. People forget about that movie. 9/11 wiped it away. They wiped it away. She got a fresh new start. So that was a blessing from the Lord for her. You know what I mean? I didn't forget because I'm petty. The second thing is, Michael Jackson earlier that week at Madison Square Garden recorded his concert special, and he had all the stars on there. It's when Whitney Houston came on there, and remember she was like going to be starting something, and she looked like a pencil. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, after the concert, 9/11 happened, and all those stars, there was no way to get home. And all the car rentals were booked up because they were canceled flights. The only people that got to fly out of America or do any kind of flying were the Saudi Arabian people, the royal people. And so they did that. And so what people don't remember is Marlon Brando, Elizabeth Taylor, and Michael Jackson rented a car, and they were going to drive back to L.A., and I wish I could be in that car. If I ever get any money, I'm making that a movie. I know that's a movie. Can you imagine going to a gas station and Michael Jackson, Elizabeth Taylor, and Marlon Brando, those fat bitches are in there arguing over big gulps and shit? I love it. I don't know how far they got. I think Pennsylvania, which Christopher Royer, my friend, turned me on. We did a show in Pennsylvania, and they have this thing called Sheets. It's like a QT, but better, Chris. It's like a fancy gas station. You go in there, and they have all these coffees and creamers. And foods. Oh my God, that's heaven. That is. You know what? Could you take my ashes to Sheets in Pennsylvania and just let me be in there by the coffee creamers? You know what I mean? Yeah. Maybe somebody put me in their coffee. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Next question. I'm going to take you to Sheets, Chris. That's a must.
I can't wait to go.
You know what? There's your vacation, bitch. That's what you're going to get.
Sheets.
To Sheets. You know what? I'm not talking shit. Wait till you get that food, Chris. It's amazing. You're going to love it. Mm-hmm. What's the next question?
Next questions. What are your thoughts on aliens?
They're real. Aliens are real. Aliens, I think, are here. Sometimes I get wackadoodle and I go too far. How far can I go? Because I think the aliens, okay, this is going to sound crazy, but I think the reason we don't have a cure for cancer is because the aliens like to eat us. And so
What?
I know it's horrible. I think the aliens are not cool. I think they are not cool, and they like to eat humans, and what they like is to marinate us in cancer, because otherwise there would be a cure for cancer.
Is this, please tell me this is something that this isn't your theory, right?
I think it is, yeah. I believe it is.
What?
Yeah. Well, why else do we not have a cure for cancer, Chris? Why? I think the aliens, they know. We know aliens lived here. We know that, right? We do. We know that they have been here before. They're coming. In like a couple years, it's going to come out common knowledge. Mm-hmm. So
I don't know what to say right now.
Am I going to get canceled? Did I go too far? I'm hungry,
that's
bitches.
That's
you don't think the alien
bizarre theory?
The aliens would eat us, and they like us to taste better, so they like us with diabetes and cancer? That's outlandish.
Who are you? What?
Well, why do we have diabetes and cancer like this?
Because we don't take care of ourselves?
And because aliens want to eat us as snacks. Next question. I'm going to get canceled on this. Can you edit that part out?
I will gladly cut that whole thing out.
Okay.
This is the last question.
Thank God. I'm so hungry for that biscuit.
Why I ate the biscuit, remember?
I know, but we're going to get in our car and we're going to go down the street. And
Are you sure they're open? It's 9.
Ask the question. I'm so hungry, Chris. I'm so hungry.
Okay, last question.
Yeah.
Why did you choose to be a stand-up comedian?
Why did I choose? Why?
Or did it choose you?
No, I always wanted to do comedy. I just never had confidence to do comedy. I always wanted to do it. I remember when I was a kid, I watched Eddie Murphy, and I was like, oh, that is so cool that he could do that. And I don't know, I just thought it was really cool to wear tight leather pants on stage and tell jokes. No, I did. And you know what's funny? When you watch Eddie Murphy, it's shocking how many times he uses the word faggot.
I know. I've seen his specials.
It's really. Yeah. But I always was drawn to it. I just never had the confidence to do it. I've been funny my whole life. You know, when my dad used to go crazy and cause trauma, I would be the one that would make everyone laugh in our house. I would always put on shows for our house. I used to go into the cupboard and make commercials with whatever came out of the cupboard, because I'm the king of episodic television. I used to know all the commercials. So I used to do that. And I like, and I know it sounds weird, but I like in pandering, but I like making people laugh. Like when you're on stage and you make people laugh and they're eating out of the palm of your hand, which hardly ever happens for me, but when it does, it's like magic. And when it happens, it's so cool. And then people come and say, thank you for making me laugh. And it's just you up there with a microphone. And sometimes there's like lots and lots of people. That my favorite time to do comedy is when people are surrounded by me. Lots and lots of people. I did a show in Bisbee, and they were all around me. And I love it. And it's not like I'm an attention whore. I do like the attention, but it's uneasy attention. Honestly, I like making people laugh and feel good. The kicker for me was the confidence. You know, I performed 2 or 3 years with no confidence. I think when you know me and you really get to know me, it's shocking how much lack of confidence I had at that time. It's gotten a lot better. I have a lot more confidence. I think I surrounded myself with a lot of people that loved me when I couldn't love myself, you know? And so I am stronger and I have more confidence, but not in the beginning, Chris. It was hard. It was hard to do stand-up comedy with no confidence, no material, and no laughs. But I was like, I just knew that I could get it better. I knew I could do it. I knew I could do it because I know in 6th grade, Karen Richards and we used to do this thing in our school, Chris. We would have this self-taught class where you would go and you would listen to tapes and you would take tests, and because they thought at that time that some kids were holding other kids back, and so you would go and some would advance up and some would, go slower. But we would get bored because we went through all the tapes. So what we would do is we would record over the tapes, Chris. And so we would say, so like you're listening to See Dick and Jane Run, right? That was the educational cassette tape that you would listen to, and it would teach you the words and verb tenses and nouns and adjectives. It would do all that, right? But we would record over it, and we would say, our teacher, if I can't remember his name, but we'd say, Mr. Rogers kills kids. You're ugly. You're adopted. We would say funny things, you know what I mean? Like, I think there was this guy, Ricardo. Ricardo picks his nose and boogers are under his desk right now. And so we would say these crazy things, and then we would forget about them, right? And so, like, maybe a couple weeks later, you could hear kids with their headphones on laughing hysterical. And then the teacher would come, who did this? And God, I knew right then I was destined for entertainment. I knew I could do it. I just knew I could do it. So did I over answer it?
No, that was great.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Can I get my biscuit now?
Sure, we'll go jump in the car and go to Popeyes and see if they're open.
Yeah, let's see if they're open first. So anyways, that's our podcast. We're so glad that you guys are listening to us. We do have the intention of having guests on here. We're just trying to work it out and get all the details together before we can do it. But we want to remind you, as always, number one, have a safe 4th of July. And remember, always put away your shopping cart, especially on the 4th of July, the time when we overthrew a king and we said that we could put our own carts away. If you don't put away your shopping cart, then you're just wanting to bring the monarchy back. And if you've seen Camilla, you don't want that bitch to be your queen. So put away the carts. It says everything about you when you don't put away your shopping cart. It says you're not a good citizen. It says you're not a good person. So I just want you to be a good person, and I just want America to be a better place for us all because I love this country. And so that's why I joined the Army, and I filed all those papers and clerked for our freedoms so that we could have the best America possible. But I do love you. I love our country. God bless America, and God bless you for listening. I hope you had a great 4th of July. This is Jim. Or when they're going to have a 4th of July, right?
Right.
Okay, I don't know what day it is. I honestly don't know what day it is. Are we close? I thought it was still June. I don't know what day it is.
Let's go get you that biscuit.
Thank you.
Your sugar's low.
My sugar is so low right now. Winona, can you hear me? He's abusing me. Thank you guys for listening. Come back again. See you guys. Thank you.